No, because every parcel is different. And to your first point on townhouses, those are single family attached. They're not multifamily. So duplexes, quads, anything under 5 units is single family attached. You get over 5 units in your multifamily, and that's where a different set of codes come in and all that. So townhouses are very different. But when it comes to understanding, a formula, some areas, if you've got pretty, you need to understand the jurisdiction, what the requirements are. But for commercial, you can kind of say, okay, for retail, 10,000 square foot an acre, office, 10,000 square foot an acre. You can get that kind of calculation on generally flat, square, typical parcels, in areas of cities that have general rules of thumb that so you can kind of do a quick study. But every single piece of land is different. The topography, the shape, the access, all those things make a difference in how that property is going to lay out for whatever it is you're going to do. And that's ultimately what's going to determine, the density of a property. How do the roads need to look? How do you ingress, egress? How do you turn? Do you need cul-de-sacs? Is it square? There's just so many factors, that go into developing a property that determines the max density. But as a developer, it's our job, our role to maximize that. And that's where it gets fun for me and being creative in terms of maximizing the capacity of property and thinking on different levels of how can I maximize the density? Because it's not always out or number of units flat. You can go up. You can do over unders. You can park underneath. A lot of different ways you can maximize a property. Maybe it gets laid out different ways, but really it's the shape and the topography and ingress and egress and requirements, width of streets, fire, what's the fire station, fire department going to require in terms of access and being able to turn around and all that kind of stuff. So there's just, do you need sidewalks, curb and gutter? That's going to affect, a lot of different things. That can make the difference in, 4 or 5 lots if you have to put that kind of stuff in. So, there just really is no way you can say in this area I can get 20 lots an acre. You just can't do that. Yeah. So feasibility sketches. So I have my engineers, that I do a lot of business with, have a great relationship with. I can send them a parcel because they know that I'm not going to waste their time. And they'll take a look at it and say, based on the zoning and the city and, the area that we work, they kind of know, and they'll do a quick layout because they can take something and put it on there or whatever. So yeah, I'll do those feasibility sketches, not a study, but a sketch just initially to kind of give me an idea. And then you kind of go from there. So that's absolutely the way you have to do it. Because again, the topography, the shape, it's just, there's so many variables. Trees, you might be in an area where you can't cut trees down, or certain size trees. So you got to work around them. You just never know what you're dealing with. Yeah. So I work with engineers that are experts in their markets, regionally, locally, whatever. And then there's some for different things that, can work either in a region or national for like major developments and projects. But generally, you're going to want somebody local that has a relationship with that municipality and understands, the process and all of the little nuances of that area. So yeah, I've got a team, and I've pretty much been in the same region my entire career, so it's pretty easy for me. And I've built these relationships over the last 30 years in my region. Yeah, the sketch. So it depends on your engineer. I mean, they might charge you by the hour. Mine don't charge me at all. But depending, and it depends on the size of the project. So obviously, smaller project could be $500 to $1,200. If it's a big major project, it's going to take some time. Could be 2,500 to 5,000. And if it's a huge, big thing, they might charge you 10 grand. So it really depends. And some of them might just charge you, by the hour, $100 an hour, 150 an hour for drafting time, whatever. But it really, every project's going to be different. But small stuff, 3, 4, $500, for something real quick and simple for a small project.